Rif Yomi Beitza, Daf Chaf Tes. We'll start with the Gemara leading into it. Lo yomer adam l'tabach shchali b'dinar basar v'chulei. The citation from the Mishnah: one shouldn't say to the butcher, "Wait for me a dinar's worth of meat." So how should he conduct himself? Kiha as follows: the Basura Amrei Tarto Falka. In Surah they say a tarta and a half a tarta. These are two different predefined sized pieces of meat, so they ask for that. The Narash Amrei Chalka Ufalge Chalka. In Narash they say a Chalka, a portion or half a portion. The Masam Chasya Amrei Riva Ufalge Riva. There they say a riva and half a riva. So these predefined portions. Now onto the Mishnah. And we've moved on to Chaf Tes Amid Aleph. Omer Adam L'Chanvani Maleli Chliza Avalo B'Midah. A person may say to a shopkeeper, "Fill for me this vessel," but he shouldn't say it with a measure. Rabbi Yehuda Omer Im Haya Kli Shel Midah Lo Yimalenu. Rabbi Yehuda says that if it was a measuring vessel, he shouldn't fill it. So we should possibly investigate the difference between the Tanakam and Rabbi Yehuda. Presumably the Tanakam would hold that with a Kli Shel Midah would be permitted. But anyway, continuing. Ma'aseh Abishal ben Batnis, or ben Bitnis, Shayam Mala Midosav Me'erev Yom Tov. V'nosnan l'kuchos b'Yom Tov. There was an incident involving Abishal ben Batnis that he filled his measures from Erev Yom Tov and he gave them to his customers on Yom Tov. V'chachamim Amrim Af b'cholos m'kimvei mitzvei hamidos. And the sages say, and in fact our Mishnah has a slightly different girsa, it says Abishal says, but regardless, the difference is that our Mishnah says the sages say that even during the chol we should do so because of the draining of the measures. That is, when you pick up some oil or other liquid measure in a measuring cup and then you pour into somebody else's vessel, so a little bit is absorbed into the vessel, so you're you're preventing somebody else from getting it, and it's kind of like cheating them, and we want to prevent that. So as a result, he would fill measures full of it beforehand, and he would sell them, and he would sell it or give it over to the customers, such that he wasn't depriving them of that which was absorbed. So we said Chachamim Amrim Af b'cholos m'kimvei mitzvei midos. In our Yersa the Mishnah says that Abishal says this, and Abishal says that even during the week he did so. Instead of Osin Cain, it was Osa Cain. Anyway, continuing the Mishnah, Omer Adam L'Chanvani Tin Liveisim Ve'Gozim B'Minyan Shekin Derech Malabatim V'Yosmona B'Sof Beisam. Somebody could say to a shopkeeper, "Give me eggs and nuts in a specific amount," because this is even the way that people do this in their own homes. It's the way of housekeepers to count it in their houses, and thus it doesn't really look so much like a business transaction, so that's okay. That's the end of the Mishnah. So next up is the Gemara. So one moment. So it says, continuing on the Gemara now. We say that he could tell this to the Chanvani, but he should fill his vessel, but not in measure. What does that mean? He shouldn't mention the name of the measure. Give me, let's say, X amount of, let's say 3 liters of this, for example. So you shouldn't say the name of the measure. But the Tanakama holds that if there's a vessel which stands for the purpose of measuring, and that vessel is of a certain measure, so he can sell that. As opposed to Rabbi Yehuda, who says that he shouldn't sell the Midah. Continuing with Gemara, Adrei Rav Chisda Rav Ukva. Rav Chisda directed Rav Ukva, V'darash, and he expounded. Lo yimdod Adam So'rim v'yitin l'fnei zemto. One shouldn't measure barley and place it before his animal. Barley is considered animal fodder, so he shouldn't measure it and place it in front of his animal. Aval kozer hu kavo kabayim v'nosin l'fnei zemto ve'no choshesh. But he may be koder, we'll define koder in a second. The kav is a specific dry measure, either a kav or two kavs, and place it before his animal and not worry about it. Now the Rif is going to explain. Perish koder is mishar ba'omed da'ato. To explain koder, it means measuring by estimating. Continuing, v'hanachna modek tavlin v'nosim l'soch ha'kedera b'shvil shlo yaktiach tav shiva. A baker may measure spices and place them into the pot so that the cooked foods don't become too spicy. Continuing, Amar Rif Yehuda bar Abba Amar Rav Modedes Isha Temach Lisata Kidei Shetito Chala Vayinich. A woman may measure flour for her dough such that she can separate off challah with a generous eye, generously. Shmuel Amar Asur, and Shmuel forbids it. Tana Devei Shmuel Mutar, but they taught in the Academy of Shmuel that it's permitted. So there seems to be a dispute between Shmuel and what they taught in his own academy. So Amar Abaye, Hashda the Amar Shmuel Asur, Tana Devei Shmuel Mutar. You have this dispute. So Shmuel, halacha l'maisa asa, Hashem iman daser. Shmuel is coming to tell us the actual halacha as it should be practiced, that it is forbidden. The Chain Hochas, and so is the halacha we pass in like Shmuel, that is forbidden. We've moved over to Chaftas from his days. So no Rabbanan, the sages learned to the Beitza. Shonen cannot be onto. We can, Ein Shonen cannot be onto. You may not resift flour on Yom Tov. You sifted it once, now you want to resift it, it becomes finer, etc. So, Mishum Rabbi Papas, Mishum Rabbi Yehuda ben Beseira, Amru Shonen. So those two said that you actually can resift flour. Keshavin, and they are alike, She'im Napul Socho Sororo Kisam, Shoshonin. That if a pebble or a splinter fell into it, then there's a fairly clear reason why you want to take out this pebble or this splinter, so then you can resift it, even though you sifted it once. This is the Rif Yosef, Hahu Nahala Kimcha Agva de Maholta. The wife of Rif Yosef would resift fat flour on the back of the sieve. In other words, she would do this it was a type of a shinoi, and it wouldn't do it so well. So Amar Allah, so Rif Yosef said there, Have de Ana Rifta Ma'al Yisa Ve'ina Minach. Aragmar actually thinks of Havi instead of Havi, but it means the same thing. It is that I desire fine bread from you, and you should know that resifting normally is permitted, is what he wanted to imply there. The visitor of Ashi, another case where the wife of Rav Ashi did something, having Nahala Kimcha Ava de Skora. She would resift flour on the underside of the table. So Amar Rav Ashi, Hadi done, V'rtei de Rabbi Bar Chamahi. This of ours, in other words, this wife of mine, is the daughter of Rabbi Bar Chama. Rabbi Bar Chama had a shchiach tamei de Rav Papi, and Rabbi Bar Chama was frequently before Rav Papi. Our Gemara actually doesn't have that. It just has, it skips that he was shchiach tamei de Rav Papi, and it just goes Rabbi Bar Chama, Marvei de Ovadah. And here we say that he was Shech Hameder of Papi Mari Davadah. So it's a question exactly who is this Mari Davadah. Mari Davadah means he was very meticulous in action. V'yelav d'chazai, v'vei nashad, and if she had not seen in her father's home this, lo havei avdah, she wouldn't have done it. So he was taking his wife's action as a basis for how Rabbi Bar Chama passed and how he conducted himself. And so, as opposed to Rif Yosef, who seems to have just corrected his wife, and I guess this means that she was doing it unnecessarily. To know Rabbanan, the sages learned in the Brisa. In this Brisa we talked about going to somebody who you frequent often. And as a result, he knows what your preferences are, and even though you don't specify the specific amount you want, he's going to know based on what you regularly purchase or get from him. So it's no Rabbanan. He could go to his usual shepherd, and he could tell him, give me give me a goat, or give me a sheep. He's not specifying the size here. And he could go to this butcher and tell me, give me a shoulder piece or a thigh piece, and not specify the size again. He could go to a fattener. This is a fattener of geese or poultry. So he goes to this fattener that he commonly goes to. To give me a dove or give me a pigeon. He goes to his regular baker. Give me a loaf or give me a roll. He goes to his usual shopkeeper and tell him, give me 50 eggs. He was actually specifying an amount. Or 50 nuts. Or 10 peaches. 5 pomegranates. Esrog, and 1 esrog. Citron. So long as he doesn't tell him the sikum metach. We're going to explain what sikum metach means in a minute. Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar, he holds that so long as you don't tell him the sikum minyan, whatever that means. Simple translation, sikum metach would be the total of the purchase, and sikum minyan would be the total of the amount. And by the way, we have a slightly different gears in our Gemara. In our Gemara, as opposed to the Rif, instead of sikum metach, he actually has sikum midah, the total of the measure, which is actually somewhat different. But the Rif has this the gears of sikum metach, and so he's going to explain what each of these terms mean. Perush. The Rif explains what's the explanation of this. Sikum metach is gigon sheish alav kesef, that he owes him kesef. He owes him a specific amount. Let's call it a kesef, 1 kesef. Lo yomer lo tainli b'chesef. He shouldn't tell him, give this to me with for another equal amount of kesef. V'yesh l'cha alai kesef acher. And you already owe me. I already owe you 1 kesef. Hooray, yesh l'cha biyadi shnei ksafim. So it's going to be that I'm going to owe you 2 ksafim instead of just 1 kesef. So that's sikum metach, the total amount of what he owes him, his tab. The sikum minyan, what is the total? What is the sum or the total of the amount? Lo yomer lo hooray yesh l'cha biyadi 50 egodim. He shouldn't tell him, behold, I have in my hand 50 of yours. In other words, I already got from you 50 nuts. Give me another 50. And then I'll have 100 of yours, which presumably I will pay for you later. This is the end of the 3rd parak, and now we're going to begin the 4th parak.